머메이드 마스크 마저 해보도록 하겠습니다.
It's a dressing
Go on.
like a woman would have in her bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
There's an old curtain hanging up here.
Want to take a look behind it?
Most of the rooms, this door is made of thick metal.
I can see an old wooden...
Yeah, I bet.
Caution. Pressure seal. I mean, that's a good thing, right?
Yeah, the submarine must be pressurized on the inside to offset the external water pressure.
And what would happen if it had the wrong pressure?
Well, I imagine the glass would break at least.
What is that?
It's a model town. Hey, there's a panel at the front.
I guess that's the ocean.
Huh.
That's not it.
So, we can tap the boat.
I guess that's
I
wrong.
think it's supposed to be... The start point is the arrow tile on the
It
left.
seems like the boats can only point in straight lines. Nothing.
I think the numbers on the and the angle of
So
each...
we need to plot a journey from... Nothing.
I think the...
So we need to plot a journey. There we go.
Nice.
The little lighthouse. It opened up. And there's something in there.
Cushions. It's a dressing...
Go on.
Like...
Mm-hmm. A lantern. It's been a while since it was lit.
What's that hanging on the back of the chair?
Bandages.
A little window.
I can't...
Locked?
No, I think the wood just rotted.
There's no way.
Seems that way.
There's no way.
Seems that way.
There's no way.
Seems that way.
What's that hanging?
Bandage it.
So
Technically, if it's the captain's quarter
it's an old
for
jacket.
going out in the rain,
It's an umbrella.
it's falling apart.
It's an umbrella.
It's falling apart. It looks ancient.
Cushions. it's addressing...
Go
like...
on. We can't go outside right now.
We can't get in there right now.
"'Twas Cynthia who had it when first she came aboard. Something in it holds great weight, for her at least it seems.
But you don't know what exactly?
With certain mind I cannot say. Dusky box of dark allure, I cannot turn mine eyes. What lies within?
We're still trying to work that out. Any guesses?
Surely some solemn secret, dark and dreadful.
Oh, it better be after all this.
A teeny tiny town of toys? Or fossil formed of... Oh, that's my house. Right there.
Your house?
Yeah, the theater where I lived.
Cute.
It really is fortuitous that Madame Tadpole found her way to the Matuga submarine. Not only is she unusually well suited to living within the confines of the ocean, but she was also unusually compatible with Magnus Mortuga. As far as I know, the two formed a sincere friendship.
Huh. I wonder if she knows any of his secrets.
She may just. I'm to believe Tadpole had taken it upon herself to discover the source of Mortuga's internal anguish. In her words, she wished to understand him so that she could help him. It was in the course of this endeavor that she began scouring the ship for information. On one occasion, I entered the captain's cabin to speak with Magnus, but instead I discovered Tadpole quite alone, trawling through his bookshelf. I asked her what she was looking for. She said she didn't know. I noticed Mr. Dansom was quite determined to hold conversation with Magnus.
What did Dirk want to talk to Mortuga about?
Nothing. It was the act of conversation itself he was after. First-hand experience of Mortuga's mannerisms, affectations, and vocabulary. When I inquired as to why Mr. Dansom held fascination for such things, he said simply, research. I have a curious observation about Mr. Werman. Unfortunately, I haven't had the time to perform an analysis, let alone propose a hypothesis.
That's okay. Just tell us anyway.
I observed that he did not seem at all saddened or sorrowed by the death of Magnus Mortuga.
You can't know that. Some people don't always show emotion on the surface.
Of course, quite true. However, Mr. Werman did display an emotion. Relief.
Relief?
Gazing upon the crime scene, much of the tension coiled up in Mr. Werman's body visibly dissipated, and thereafter he seemed energized, galvanized. He joined us about a week or so after we first left port. He caused problems almost immediately.
How come?
Godric made some kind of official request, but Magnus had denied it. Their disagreement was something to do with navigation. For my own sake, I stayed out of it. It is no mark against Cynthia's character. She is a sharp young woman and capable engineer. But I was wholly surprised to learn that she had become captain.
Did she never say she wanted to be captain?
On the contrary, I was aware she'd held such aspirations, initially. But I was under the impression that her campaign had ended in failure.
Meaning?
That Miss Seafoam had made her ambitions known to Magnus, but he had shut them down. It is hypothesized that Miss Moon was embroiled in some form of deal with Magnus Mortuga.
What kind of deal?
What would she give him? Money?
His heart beat not for money and things.
What did it beat for?
People. Kinship.
So, Mariana gave him a person.
Maybe information about a person, or how to find a person.
I first learned about Symmetry from a newspaper article detailing her residency at the Fortuna Hall Theater. On the surface, it was merely a review of a magic show, but I felt something behind it, something of great interest. To me, it spoke of someone with a close connection to the ethereal plane. Taking an excursion from the submarine, I attended the performance. Afterward, I requested an audience with Miss Silkmoth herself. And speaking with her for a scant few minutes, I learned two things. First, and most importantly, my instincts had been correct. She was indeed fascinated with the great unanswered questions of metaphysicality. She held a yearning to understand that which could not ordinarily be understood. A woman after my own heart.
What was the other thing? You said you learned two things.
That she was thoroughly unhappy with her lot at Fortuna Hall. The theater owner was a heartless woman who, among other indiscretions, did not compensate Symmetry for her work. But she had no family, nor any other connections. She had nowhere else to go.
So you invited her to come live on the submarine?
To put it simply,
Did she bring all her props and stuff with her?
everything she could carry.
Why? Was she gonna keep working as an illusionist on the submarine?
No, Miss Silkmoth would be working with me here in the Dream Chamber.
I notice she's not here anymore.
Her tenure with me has come to an end. She has moved on to pastures anew. Magnus built this himself, from the scant materials we happened to have on board.
So he made it while he was living on the submarine?
Yes, but I believe it's a vignette of a particular time in his past, back when he was living in Silkworm.
But you knew Mortuga back then, didn't you? How come there's not a model of you in there?
It's specific to the town and its history. As an outsider, I would have no place in it. I am unfamiliar with this. Where was it located?
It was in the captain's quarters.
Ah, then it is no mystery, for I have never set foot in that room. I stayed at the Stone Top Inn myself. Back then it was under the care of a woman named Felicia, but it seems to have passed on to Magnus sometime later. I find this strange, for he was not a member of a Stone Top family. Magnus and I installed this in the captain's cabin shortly after we left port for the first time. It is exceptionally heavy.
Did Mortuga tell you why he wanted a big iron bell hanging over his desk?
He merely said it was an object of great importance and that he'd like to keep it close by.
Do you have any idea what it is?
He referred to it as a bell, Detective.
Yeah, just going by the shape. But it doesn't ring, so we're not sure.
You may be more correct than you know. Personally, I believe it is a bell. Not in the musical sense, but rather a diving bell, which is to say it's designed to be lowered to the ocean floor.
With a person inside?
I doubt it. It's not really big enough. Fascinating. Some unseen entity is attempting to speak with us through the radio.
I think it's just broken.
Of course it's broken. That's precisely what opens it up to ethereal transmission.
Did Mortuga make this himself?
Of course, much like his model town, it is specific to his life and his memories.
So he made the model ship and the model town at around the same time.
I believe so.
Interesting.
I believe this is a painting of Magnus's old boss and landlord.
Is that who she is?
Felicia, her name was.
And you met her?
I laid eyes on her briefly when I first visited Silkworm.
What happened to her?
I couldn't say.
Mortuga never told you?
No.
Maybe he didn't know either.
Why is it still encased in polypropylene?
Makes it more valuable to a collector. Surely you get it. You're a kind of collector, aren't you?
I collect only one-of-a-kind items, and only those with significant provenance.
Technically, this does have significant provenance, since it's owned by Dirk, and he's the actor who plays the character.
Oh, yeah.
The face from the ether. It must be.
What's that?
Tell me, where did you find this?
It was locked in a safe.
Was it now? Would you mind if I took it off your hands?
It's not ours to give.
No, of course. This seems to be a personal item of Cynthia's. As such, it is not my place to make a comment. This magazine emanates a peculiar energy. Jealousy, frustration, even greed. Somebody's been trying to piece together Silkworm's history by the looks of it.
We noticed Mortuga's on there, but his name's not connected to anyone else.
Did he ever talk about his family? Or where he came from?
He never spoke of his heritage, no.
Now this is a talisman, surely.
On the surface, it appears so. However, in this instance, I think the concept has been inverted.
A reverse talisman.
It rather seems that Cynthia is using the contract as a talisman.
A talisman. Like, as protection.
I did notice she taped it to the back of the chair in the control room, so it's like you can't go in there unless you acknowledge it.
Correct. The contract is a shield behind which Cynthia hides. It's a fine garment, is it not?
Has it been in the control room the whole time?
From the moment I first entered the submarine.
But it doesn't belong to Mortuga.
It does not.
Has the wheel always looked like that?
Like what?
With one side broken off and replaced with a different material.
It's never been my job to steer the ship, so I've never really taken any notice. You know, Magnus never liked the name Mortuga Submarine.
Surely he was the one who chose that name.
I believe it was something that just happened. He didn't have a willing hand in it. All told, Magnus was rather dismissive of the notion that the submarine should bear his moniker.
But it was his submarine.
He was dismissive of that notion, too. Magnus was fairly averse to record-keeping.
He hadn't been that against it if he bothered to write in the captain's log.
However, standard protocol would be for the captain to keep a record of every single day, whereas Magnus only filed a handful of these log cards in his entire tenure. Godric Grip's hand-carved talisman.
You think everything's a talisman.
I thought it was just a part of the branding for his shop.
It may well be. Nonetheless, I conclude that it is imbued with energy, and its primary function is to be an anchor.
It's not heavy enough to be an anchor. I'm pretty sure it would float.
He means an emotional anchor.
Oh, right.
It would float. What an enchanting thought.
Uh-oh, you've given him an idea.
It may transpire that the true meaning of the cane is found in its unsinkability.
So it's a reminder not to sink, not to drown.
Like some kind of life preserver?
The ship's compass. I witnessed Cynthia carrying this from the control room the night Magnus was murdered.
Yeah, I think it broke. She was taking it to get fixed.
Odd, it's never broken before. There must be a connection. If only it hadn't been torn in two, then I could be sure.
Of what?
The branch of red coral at the base of the map. I'm wondering if that's the treasure you'd find if you traveled to the X marked in the center. It's an incantation sealed in a glass bottle. Traditionally, you might bury such a thing under the floorboards of your house to protect from black magic.
What about if you threw it into the ocean? Would that do anything?
Likely it would have no effect. The ocean is simply too large to be held to account in this way.
It's a throne.
It's not a
Oh,
throne.
well,
The
there's
cap,
a
that's
label.
not a label. It's a whole document.
I don't like it.
You don't want to know what's inside?
I do, and I don't. What if it's bad?
Bad like how?
Like, what if it's something we didn't want to see?
I think I'd still rather know.
Wow, there they are. That's my mom, standing in the harbor, and that's my dad, standing under the lighthouse.
Cute.
Hey, the lighthouse opens up, and there's a film reel in there. That is not accurate. We did not have a giant film reel in our attic.
couldn't believe it when I saw this in Mortuga's cabin.
Had you seen it before?
Yeah, this painting used to be in my house.
What?
In my father's study. It hung there for at least a year.
Why? Where'd he get it from?
I believe he bought it from the town's governor, a man named Fellow.
So how'd Mortuga end up with it?
I couldn't say. It's broken. Or possessed by an evil spirit, one of the two. Charming, isn't it?
Is it based on a real ship?
I'd assume so. Mortuga did work as a sailor of sorts back before the submarine.
He had his own ship?
Oh no, it was a stone-top ship he worked on. The same people that owned the inn.
It looks like the little Mortuga standing by the wheel. So that'd make him the helmsman.
Yeah, that's right. This is supposed to be silkworm, is it?
Is it not accurate?
Far from it.
I don't think it's trying to be accurate. It's more about Mortuga's specific...
Hang on. Is that my father?
Which one?
This guy. He's got the right look, and he's standing outside the building that would be the town hall if it wasn't just a wooden cube.
Huh. I'll make a note of it. What was your father's name?
Damien.
Damien Warman.
No, Damien Dusk. Oh, a locked box. What is inside? Oh, I must find out at once.
You're not impressed?
Half the time, with things like this, the writer hasn't even worked out what's inside. They just want the reader to speculate. Keeps them invested.
Okay, but this is real. It's not somebody's fiction.
How can you be sure? Maybe someone planted the box to distract you, knowing you'd get all curious. I bet there's nothing inside. Look, I'll shake it.
There's something in there.
Multiple things, sounds like.
The Stone Top Inn's been in the town a long time.
Did you ever go in?
It was a little bawdry for my tastes, but that's sailors for you. My father was a frequent patron, though. He had a thing for the innkeeper.
Did you ever see Mortuga in there?
It's possible, but I don't remember it. He probably looked different back then, anyway.
The deeds seem to say that Don Drummond was the most recent owner.
I noticed. It's hard to imagine the Stone Top selling the inn. It's been their family home for generations.
Well, I don't think there are any stone tops left. We were in the inn earlier today. It's been abandoned, just like everything else.
I want to know what this is. It's got to be something.
We're not sure either.
Did you see the carvings around the outside? It's a little story in 4 parts. There's an egg, then it hatches, then there's a baby, then it goes into the water.
Into the ocean, I think.
I'm not sure it's a baby either.
Oh,
It's some kind
Sally.
of interesting thing.
Is that a touch?
You never know when you might
What's
have... It's a
this?
cell phone.
What do you mean it's locked? the one.
Good job. It's unlocked.
So now we can look at it? It's Werman's typewriter. There's something
Let's go talk to her.
There's something
Did you notice the weird mechanism? That's not
There's
it.
6 different things. The solution's something to do with how.
I guess that's wrong.
outer
So, we are rotating the nothing.
We're looking for a set of 5 rotated shapes. The diagram at the bottom shows the combined.
There we go.
Nice.
The little hatch
What's
open.
this? A letter?
Cynthia, is this the phone you used to call us?
No, I used one in the town when I went to drop off the case file. I never actually had my own cell phone. Do they all have flashlights like this?
Oh wait, that's a flashlight?
Could be useful. It gets pretty dark down here. Mr. Worman's typewriter? It's a mess. The keys are all in the wrong place. I could fix it for him, no problem. Or Mr. Grip could do it, I bet.
I don't think Worman wants anyone to fix it.
Oh, weird. The stamp. That's Governor Fellow, the guy who owns Silkworm on Sea.
I didn't know you could own a town.
Well, he acted like he did. Putting himself on the stamps was the least of it.
Cynthia, you became captain after Mortuga died?
Yep. It's just the way it's meant to be.
Just the way it's meant to be. Right, we got it.
But, there was something you used to claim the captaincy? A document?
Correct.
Okay, but you have to admit, the wording on this thing is kind of vague. It doesn't actually say, "Hi everyone, Mortuga here. Cynthia gets to be captain if I die."
Let's review, shall we? This contract represents an agreement between the two individuals in contention over the ownership and command of the Mortuga submarine.
The two individuals. That's you and Mortuga.
Indeed.
But you're not actually named, by name.
If I may continue, for their own safety and privacy, these two people shall only be referred to as Party A and Party B. See, Mortuga was quite a private person. He was just being considerate.
You call it considerate. I call it convenient.
So Mortuga is Party A.
Correct. Previously, Party A has been considered the legal owner of the Mortuga submarine, and thus its rightful commander. He's clearly talking about himself. It's the Mortuga submarine, after all, and he was the commander. However, a recent development has exposed that Party B is in fact the legal owner of this vessel.
Party B. That's you.
Affirmative.
A recent development. There's more of that deliberately vague wording.
I have a question. When exactly did Mortuga write this contract?
When exactly? I don't actually know.
You don't know when he wrote it?
Well, it must have been sometime after I came aboard the submarine. I assume it was after I presented my case to him.
Cynthia might not know, but we actually have some insight on this. For one, we know how the contract was written. How it was actually created, I mean. It was typed on Warman's typewriter, so it was made sometime after Warman arrived.
And Warman and Dirk arrived after I did, so this gets me off the hook.
Try not to sound too relieved. But yeah, this does seem to confirm it. So, my next question is this. When did you sign the contract?
A little while ago? Some amount of time ago?
If this conversation gets any more vague, I'm going to cry. Was it a day before the murder? A week?
Surely it was at some point before the murder. Otherwise...
I think it might be time to make an accusation.
신시아 피살은 뭔데? 모르투가의 생일.
Cynthia Seafoam signed the contract after Mortuga's murder and forged Mortuga's signature.
Such a rude accusation! So rude! I assure you that is Mortuga's exact signature. Do you have any evidence that it's been forged? Do you have any evidence that it's been forged?
We have evidence in the form of a clue. The captain's log. It's basically a stack of cards, printed out by the submarine's control panel. Each little card has a space for the captain to sign, and the most recent card is signed by you, Cynthia. All the rest are signed by Mortuga. Well, sort of. Mortuga's signature on the contract is an almost. Maybe just change. Mortuga's signature on the contract is an exact match of Mortuga's signature on this card, but it doesn't match any of the other cards.
Yeah? It's a perfect match. What's the problem?
The perfect match is the problem. You were too accurate. If you'd done a worse job, you might have gotten away with it.
What do you mean?
If you look through the cards, Mortuga never signs his name the same way twice.
But the signature on the contract matches one of them exactly, which seems to be proof that you copied it, or traced it, or whatever it was.
Oh. Whoops. Didn't notice that. I thought it was his signature. Why doesn't he have a signature?
So, if Cynthia forged the signature, that means Mortuga had the contract typed up, but then never signed it?
Right after Mortuga was killed, I went looking to see if he'd written a will. That's when I found it, laying inside the little hatch in the control panel. I grabbed it and hurried back to my room to read it. After reading it, I could come to only one conclusion, that he wrote it about me, but never got a chance to show it to me.
Remind me why you were so sure it was written about you?
A recent development has exposed that Party B is in fact the legal owner of this vessel.
You're really the legal owner of the Mortuga submarine?
It was originally the Seafoam submarine.
이게 증거가 어딨지? C폼으로 둘러싸이는 건 있었는데 이거는 이제 어디에 적혀 있을 텐데 정확히 어디 있는지 모르겠네요. 아, 이게 여기 있나? 여기 있네.
That's not it.
아니야? 배는 없고 잠수함 바깥에 C폼이라고 적혀 있기는 하다만 아 이거?
This is the right clue, but
This is the right clue. This is the right clue. But this is the right clue. This is the right clue.
this is the right. This is the.
This is the right clue.
This is the correct. This is the right clue.
This is the right clue. But we want
This is the correct clue, but this is the correct clue.
아이 뭐지 씨발.
This is the right clue. This is the right clue. This was back when it was still being built.
The
됐다.
Seafoam submarine was never completed. We got close, and then we stopped. It lay rusting in the shipyard for some time. Mortuga would eventually purchase it from my father. At which point it was altered, completed, and renamed the Mortuga submarine.
Altered.
Yeah, the blueprints from my mother's original design. But as I said, that version was never completed. I've been trying to update it to show how the submarine looks now. The design changed a bit after Mortuga bought it.
Wait, if Mortuga bought it, then he did own it.
It wasn't a legitimate purchase. It wasn't my father's to sell.
So, the recent development mentioned in the contract, that was
me, informing Mortuga that his ownership of the submarine was based on an illegitimate purchase. My intention was to refund his payment and undo the transaction, placing the submarine back into my ownership.
Wow, I bet he loved that.
refund the payment. You tried to give him his money back?
Not money. Something else. The deeds to the Stonetop Inn, originally owned by the Stonetop family until it was passed into the ownership of Magnus Mortuga. And then...
This is the right clue, but the deeds passed from Mortuga to Donovan Drummond, Cynthia's stepfather.
So that's how Mortuga paid for the submarine. He sold his house, basically.
I came aboard with the intention of giving the Stonetop Inn back to Mortuga in exchange for my mother's submarine. And that's exactly what I did.
But did Mortuga actually accept your offer?
When I first made the proposal, he didn't give me an answer either way. He looked at the inn deeds very closely, read the whole thing, front and back. Then he handed them back and told me he'd need some time. Before I heard anything else about it, he was killed. Obviously, I thought I'd never find out what his decision was, but then I found the command contract. It seemed like he decided to accept my proposal after all, and just not had a chance to tell me.
How come the keys are all messed up on your typewriter?
It's old. Sometimes they fall off. I guess I don't always put them back in the right place.
And, what have you typed on that page?
I'm taking another swing at a story outline for my next book.
I can't make it out. It's some kind of weird grid.
Cross-writing. Look it up. People used to do it all the time.
What about these brass panels on the back?
This one's my father's emblem, near dusk. That's why it looks like a D. And this is the governor's emblem, Governor Fellow, so that one's an F. Oh, I can't stand these things. A procrastinator's worst nightmare. It's why I use the old typewriter. No distractions.
Does Dirk spend a lot of time on his cell phone?
Not in here. He goes up on deck to do it.
Why?
Who knows? It's not my business. Oh,
Does Dirk
not in here.
Why?
It's mine, as you are well aware, seeing as how you just fished it out of the back of my typewriter. That's right, I was watching. I don't disappear when you stop talking to me, you know.
The envelope's addressed to you, but it says, Dear James at the top of the letter.
Congratulations, you've sussed out what the J in my name stands for. If that's the height of your investigative prowess, we're all in trouble.
It's signed by someone named T.W. Ibis.
Another astute observation. You know, of all the detectives I've met, you two really are the most recent.
Grimoire, he's being mean to us.
I noticed.
There's something suspicious about Norman.
Worman, you're from Silkworm on Sea, is that right?
So technically no. My father and I moved there when I was very young. But for all intents and purposes, let's say yes. Why not?
And you first worked as a newspaper journalist, but then moved away to be an author?
I literally left my small town to go make it in the big city. It's so banal. I'm not a man, I'm a walking cliche.
But then, right as your writing career was peaking, you came back. And now you're here on Mortuga's submarine.
Remind me why you're here again.
2 words. Writing retreat. I've been trying to write this accursed book, but I couldn't focus with my publisher breathing down my neck. That kind of pressure is not conducive to one's creative process.
Surely there is something specific that made you come back to the town and seek out the submarine.
Something specific?
So you got this letter from someone called T.W. Ibis, who says...
Ibis? Never heard of him.
Oh, it's a him.
T.W. Ibis is Worman's old boss.
And,
여기 있습니다. TW Ibis.
oh, look at you guys doing a little investigative journalism of your own, huh?
So this Ibis guy, this is someone you really looked up to, like a mentor.
Steady now. He was just my boss. Let's not get all schmaltzy with this.
이건 모르겠는데. 뭐가 있을까요? 감이 안 오는데 이건. 아, 여기인가 보다. 여기 있다.
For T.W. Ibis, who imparted upon me what it is to love the art of
I'm
writing.
aware of what it says, all right? Can we just settle down?
Guys, there's something bothering me. The letter has a diagram on the back showing you how, when, and where to find the Mortuga submarine.
Of course. How else do you think I managed to find it? Magnus Mortuga's submarine is the stuff of urban myth. It's not exactly public knowledge.
That's my problem. How would Ibis know about it? He's not on board, is he?
No, and as far as I know, he never was. He's not even living in the town anymore.
But then how...
Yeah, no, I have no idea. FYI, I've officially decided not to worry about it.
Looking at the actual letter, he first insults your integrity as an author, and then presents a solution, basically offering you the chance to get onto the submarine and find Mortuga yourself.
A chance to meet Mortuga. So that's what convinced you to come back here. J.D. Worman. Almost. J.D. Worman. That's not right. J.D. Worman. Almost. J.D. Worman. Almost. J.D. Worman. Almost. J.D. Worman needed to steal Mortuga's real-life
훔쳤다고.
story to use as the plot for his
모르겠어.
next book.
I noticed you went straight for my sense of self-worth there.
The main character of your book, Marcus Mordoon, he's based on Mortuga, isn't he?
Loosely inspired by. That's an important legal distinction.
And you're currently in the process of writing a sequel.
I've said as much.
And how's that going?
Look, I don't plan on stealing Mortuga's real-life story any more than I have already. I assure you, I am working on my own book, on my own terms, with my own ideas.
But you came back to...
Other than the fact that I happen to be on his submarine, do you have any evidence that I'm stealing Mortuga's real story for my next book?
That's not right.
이거 아니야?
We've been over that already.
That's not it. That's not it.
생각해보자. 모르겠어요. 얘 인생을 또 훔칠 만한 증거. 모르겠는데? 모르겠어요. 증거가 있었나?
That's not it.
나도 알아.
There's a piece of paper on this bottle
이거구나.
with something written on it. In fact, it's a little typed story that details the circumstances of Mortuga's real life, death.
A story? I don't know. It reads more like an arcane incantation. Why don't you ask Symmetry about it, or Zephyr? Just look at that symbol. What is that? Some kind of sacred geometry? Really not my wheelhouse at all.
알을 낳는 셀리는 씨.
It's a drawing of a room. It's a diagram of the crime scene. There's the window, the cauldron, and Mortuga's body laying on the ground.
Where did you find this bottle?
Madame Tadpole had it. She found it floating in the ocean.
Sealed in a bottle and found in the ocean. But you think I typed it?
그쵸? 네가 썼죠. 시발로마.
We need a clue that's got some connection.
여기 이게 타자기로 써진 거잖아.
The piece of paper in the bottle matches the paper you use in your typewriter, which also matches the sheets from the command contract, and we know these were typed on your typewriter because you told us.
Well, you've really done your homework, kids. I'm impressed.
You admit you typed the story?
It's not a story, it's just record keeping. After Mortuga died, I thought someone should write an account of what happened.
Nice try. But just looking at it, I can tell it's supposed to be a plan for your next novel. We need a clue to compare with the message in the bottle. Something to prove it's a story outline for Worman's next novel. The Curse in the Cauldron title is drawn in the same style as the Hex of the Helmsman title because it's a plan for the next book.
Oh, now you're using graphic design against me. A little below the belt, don't you think?
It really does seem like you took the events of Mortuga's death and turned them into a story outline for your book.
Yeah, all right, don't lecture me. I'm not exactly proud of it. I'm fully aware that this is, murky moral ground.
Why was it in a bottle in the ocean?
As soon as I typed it, I regretted it. Stealing Mortuga's story all over again? For what? Just some book. I wanted to destroy it, but I couldn't bring myself to do it. So instead, I sealed it in a bottle and threw it into the ocean. It goes without saying that I never expected it to make its way back onto the submarine.
So what are you going to do now?
You know what I'd like to do? Give up. Call my publisher, tell her I tried, but I quit. I'm not going to write the book.
Why don't you?
It's just not that simple. There's a lot of money riding on this, people's jobs. Throwing in the towel now would be pretty selfish.
And you already tried coming up with your own ideas for the story?
Tried and failed. Repeatedly. I've come to the conclusion that I must have just got lucky the first time and that I'm not actually any good at this. It's funny, I'd already decided that Mordoom was going to be killed off. That was the one idea I'd actually had. But I couldn't think of an interesting way for him to go. What's the hook? What's the setup? And then Magnus Mortuga is killed. Tragic, obviously, but at the same time, it was perfect. The locked room, the empty cauldron. I couldn't resist it.
Wait, Mormon.
Another one?
You'd not met Mortuga.
Yeah, never met him. That's why the offer.
Right. But then...
The first one? Oh, I just asked my father.
Your father knew Mortuga?
He didn't, but they had a mutual friend.
오케이, 여기서 끊고 가겠습니다.